Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. So today's video is going to be my thoughts on Booktube and my time as a content creator and my sort of plans and thoughts about the channel going forward. So everything in here is my opinions and my experience, and I'm really kind of just wanting to make sure I get that down for myself for the future. But yeah, maybe someone else will find this interesting. I have no idea. For me, I've always been somebody who is a big reader. I've always been bookish. I've always loved to read voraciously and then turn around and tell anybody who will listen to me, any of my loved ones, all about my books. Extensive plot descriptions, all of my thoughts, all of my feelings, my emotional journey as I went through the whole thing. I talked too much, as I've been told in my life. And I knew the Booktube existed. I found it a number of years ago and kind of watched on and off, and had some spare time early 2020, and I started my channel, I think May or June of 2020. And I started my channel because I wanted to talk about books, and I really did have two goals in mind when I started my channel. When I started a YouTube channel to talk about books, my two goals were to find other bookish people to have discussions with and to make some real friends, people who were bookish, who wanted to talk about books, and who hopefully would then become my real friends. Have discussions, make friends. Those were my plans. And I didn't start my channel with any intention of like breaking the YouTube mold. I intended to bring my own thoughts and opinions and emotions to it, and my own, unique whatever, but, not change the format. I was going to be making content in the style that already existed and was plentiful on Booktube. I wanted to do vlogs, TBRs, monthly wrap-ups, book tags, etc. I think one of the questions on the Booktube newbie tag is, what fun and unique thing can you bring to Booktube? And my answer then and now and always has been not much. And I think retrospectively, looking back, I think my goals were kind of flawed or doomed kind of from the start. I think that YouTube as a platform, once you've uploaded a video, YouTube is not super conducive in creating a discussion or fostering discussion. You can have a live show where there's an audience you can participate with, but trying to just have a comment section back and forth to create a discussion about a book is very clunky, and a lot of any sort of discussions that were meaningful or were elaborate in any way would have to happen off of YouTube. And I have had a few of those on Discords, but you have to find the servers and you have to join the servers and you have to participate and be active. And I have had a few interactions on Instagram through direct messaging and that kind of thing. But so my goals of finding people to have discussions with, I found people no problem. It was having the discussions. Wasn't sure how much of that was people maybe not willing to overanalyze or be hypercritical or have extensive discussions. Part of it, I think, was YouTube as a platform is not designed to have a long, ongoing, in-depth discussion back and forth. And the other element of the making friends was also not something I knew how to do. I'm old, older than I used to be. I can say that that's true every day. But I, somewhere along the way of my life, kind of forgot how to make friends. Or rather, I've never taken friends and people that I've met online and managed to transition to having those people be my friends outside of the sphere in which I met them. It's easy to have conversations back and forth in Discord, but I never progressed to like meaningful friendships outside of that. And I think part of that is me, and I think part of that is other people, and it was kind of frustrating, and I hoped it would happen organically, and ultimately I was confused as to why I would see people who who very clearly were getting together in real life, whether or not they lived close together. People were flying across the countries and stuff. And it was clear that they had text conversations and other discussions that were non-bookish, and I never knew how to do that. I did not successfully make any transitions from Booktube people and YouTube people into like a level of intense or personal friendships. So eventually, I was persisting. I was thinking, oh, I just have to find the right people. I have to find my people. Everybody on Booktube was always kind. I never experienced any bullying, never experienced any drama that was directed toward me in any way. No problems. In fact, a couple people that were, my friends on YouTube kind of rallied to my defense. The one and only 5 seconds that I had more than 5 people pay any attention to me on Twitter. Booktube was a great community. I just didn't feel that, and it was welcoming and it was fun, but it was not a place where I was finding lasting, significant friendships. And ultimately, even though I was persisting and hopeful that I could just find my friends, Booktube is a big time sink. You have to read. If you're making content about books, you have to read books or magazines or whatever you're talking about. You have to do the thing to have the content about the thing. So I had to find time to read, and anytime I was in a slump or was reading something that was not brand new or was not popular, there was always this element of, I need to be reading more or the newest or whatever. But even if you have read something, you then have to film and edit and upload and do the preparation and to make the video go live and caption. And I wanted to caption my content, which was a huge time sink. And then you have to promote all that content. And then you also have to find time to watch other people and do collaborations and participate in readathons. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to find people to have discussions with. I wanted to find people to have my friends, to make friendships with. And so how did I find that? Anytime that I was watching other people's content and trying to comment meaningful, I clearly watched your video and have something to say about it, comments on their videos, that was time that I was not reading and editing and doing all of the things. So, ultimately, eventually, over time, when I was not really experiencing the things that I had wanted to most experience out of Booktube, when the discussions and the friendships weren't really happening to the level that I wanted, and there was time that I was investing, this was starting to get to me. And eventually, the numbers did finally get to me. Because my goals were always to have the friendships and have the discussions, I was never really that invested in my analytics. And because I never felt that I was bringing inventive and creative and unique content to the channel, it never really felt like I was creating content that was then flopping and I was emotional. Maybe I wasn't as emotionally invested in my content as I should have been to shine on camera and make it interesting to watch. But yeah, the numbers eventually got to me. I felt that I was doing a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort to then ultimately get so few views and so few comments. And it was clear that I was not reaching the people that I was hopeful to have discussions with or make friends out of. And so my content slowed and probably dropped in quality, and I was withdrawing a little bit and was watching fewer people. My experience as a creator was changing. My experience as a viewer was changing. I felt like a lot of the people that I most valued to watch their content had either changed or left. And obviously nobody is required to make content. Like, you don't owe your audience anything. But it is sad when you as a viewer lose people who you really love to watch. And everything, I think, goes in these cycles, and there are new people, and I was not seeking out new people. And so my experience was just not satisfying. It was not satisfying to be a creator, and it was not satisfying to be a viewer. And I have kind of disappeared a little bit in like 2024, basically. I think I put out 1 or 2 videos in January. I actually just realized yesterday that I took time and effort and energy and created a whole video that I never even released. I literally I read, I filmed, I edited, I uploaded, I prepped. I think I even captioned, and then I think I never hit go live. And I think that was on me. But over the last 3 months, I've really been thinking about a lot of this, and that's where these thoughts have come from. And I have not really been terribly tempted to come back to Booktube. Now, I'm not tempted to try to continue what I was doing. I don't feel like what I was doing was serving me or was interesting to me, and I think it was clearly not super interesting to other people because no one was watching it. So I don't want to continue doing what I was doing. And so my plans sort of going forward are that I'm not sure if I'm going to make any content at all again. It feels weird to me to think about making YouTube content, making Booktube content, and having that be this era of my life, I suppose. And it's weird to think about that kind of ending in a deliberate choice. And I'm not sure if that's something I want to do. But basically, I have been tempted to continue to record my thoughts and feelings about the books that I am continuing to read. I have so far read a number of books in the year. What book am I? I'm up to, at this point in time, I've read 22 titles so far in 2024. That's the first quarter plus the first 2 weeks of April. So some of those I have a lot of feelings about, and some of those I don't really have very many feelings about. And I will say, for my own personal edification, I think I kind of want some documentation about my life and my thoughts and feelings on these books. I can't tell you the number of times I have thought, oh, I read that book. What did I think about it? And I've gone to my YouTube channel and then looked for that book and re-watched that segment of my wrap up or whatever, where I talked about a book from 2 years ago. And it's been really nice to do that and to remind myself of what I was thinking at that time that I read it, and refresh my memory. And so I don't want to say, never say never. I don't want to continue making the content that I was before. I was frustrated with it and I didn't like it, and I don't want to jump back in and persist that way. So if I make anything in the future, it will be for me. It will be for myself. I don't even know if I don't know. So yeah, those are my complicated thoughts and feelings about what the last couple of years as being a content creator have done for me or not done for me. And my intention with this video was not in any way to be anything other than my own reflection and my own thoughts, which are cynical. I know I have a sort of pessimistic viewpoint a lot of the time, but yeah, I hope that anybody who potentially watches this is not discouraged from potentially making any Booktube channel or content. I think that there's definitely room for people. I think we need to have variety out there. I think we need to have voices. For me, I don't think I want to keep doing what I've been doing. And so I don't know if I'm going to continue. So maybe goodbye forever. That sounded so dark. Maybe this is my last video, and yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So thanks for watching. Bye.